do you create?
So basically, I'm a ceramicist. So I have my own studio in Kolkata, and for the past 5 years, I've been working there and making my own works. So I am. My practice is based mostly on research and exploration of uh, elements,
Okay.
like the pure elements that we have in the periodic table.
In the?
In the periodic table,
Okay.
whatever the elements that we have,
Right.
so most of my work is more scientific based
Got it.
rather than like at a point of like as you grow, as you go through the life of an artist, I guess you kind of evolve, and past few years, like 1 2 years, I've gotten more into the scientific approach of doing ceramics rather than making something that speaks about it, about the society and everything. Because there was a time when I did that, and there was not a lot of impact. I feel, even though all of these art fairs and these art festivals that happen here are about creating some sort of impact, right,
Yeah.
in the society. I guess I kind of grew out of it, and I wanted to kind of go into the scientific sides of ceramics.
Right. So did it
More to
become
speak
more
of
of
it.
a self-exploration then? When you
You
say
can you
grew
can
out
say so. It's more about exploration of materials. It's more about exploration of nature.
okay.
So, like, I sort of realized that most of what we do is pointless. Like, life itself, even though kind of it's a narcissistic view of viewing things, you like people are born and then they die. It's a very basic thing, but we have made so many constructs in between. How money came into existence, how power came into existence, all of that
Yeah.
is quite pointless. The real gods of this earth is the nature and what materials you find in nature.
Right.
The 118 elements in the periodic table are what create everything in this universe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and maybe there's more, who knows, but this is all we have.
Yeah.
That's all that is real.
Right.
Everything else is a construct that we have made of ourselves.
Yeah. That's
So I kind of grew over the fact of how talking about all of these social constructs that we have kind of formed in such a long time has, even though it makes an impact, it's a very momentary impact.
true.
And like you see history repeating itself every generation. It's just a little bit more exaggerated the next generation. That's all that happens. So I kind of grew over that fact, and I just tried to look objectively and more scientifically into the artworks of ceramics. That's why most of my works right now is mostly about exploring materials.
Got it.
Maybe I'll go on to do something with the exploration,
Yeah.
but right now there's nothing other than experimenting going on in my head.
Makes sense. What would your artwork look like if you subtract from it any need to create an impact? As in, what if it's purely about your exploration of the materials or the elements? Would it still be everything that you want? And would you find all the satisfaction you want in it still?
I think I would, because like right now what I'm doing is more of like exploring the limits
Okay.
of the materials. Like,
Right.
at a point of time, we made tools out of stones, right? No one knew what gunpowder was.
Yeah.
Okay, no one knew how to use it or like how to make it or whatever. Materials keep on going up and above, and then we create newer things with it. Now AI has come into existence, and we are making stuff out of
Yeah.
like nothing, like out of water. So I feel like the main human exploration that we have formed so far is exploring materials, exploring the science behind stuff, and then slowly that keeps on advancing. The technological research and scientific research keeps on advancing. Okay, there's not a lot of depth in it. Like there's a lot of intellectual depth in it.
Yeah.
It's pure brain. It's
Yeah.
pure brain. Like it's pure, like
Logically.
logic and
Reason.
practicality and reason. When intellect comes into things, right? It's more about a question of what if. You know,
Yeah.
what if this could happen? And again, a lot of technological advancement happened because of that. Happened because of what if? What if we could fly one day?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I think the ones who do the science versus the ones who question. There's some of them are in the shadows and they
Yeah.
keep exploring
Yeah.
materials. None of them
Yeah.
are named,
Right.
you know. But obviously the ones who are just the name holders, like
Yeah.
let's say Elon Musk. Okay, don't want to drop names again, but everyone knows his name at this point. So yeah, but at the same time, I can't really explain why I went on to this direction. It just appeals to me. And if I were to, like, that's why I kind of got rid of the intellectualization of my work. Like, anyone can put a meaning behind an artwork, okay? But the point of making art is the intent behind it, right?
Yeah. Not the meaning.
Yeah. So there are two types of artists, okay?
Yeah.
One who makes the works first and then gives it meaning, and ones who already have a thought and then makes the work behind it, behind the thought, right? So I think the second kind is a much better kind of an artist. Intent is necessary. How you like perceive things, right? Do you just make a beautiful piece of work and then give it meaning, or do you have something meaningful behind your piece and then make something that looks ugly but still has something behind it, right?
Right.
So
Would you say that this is like very interesting. Even personally, I think I made hit switch from making art because there is something begging to be spoken inside of us. So, do you often feel that such an approach results in obscure output, something that people cannot connect with, when you stuff meaning into it?
I feel like that happens a lot with art. Like sometimes artworks should speak for themselves, but at the same time, there are a lot of artworks. Let's say in this Biennale itself, I saw so many works which needed an explanation. Okay, but do you discount the fact that it is art because of that,
Makes sense.
or are you supposed to get art right at the moment of the like when you see it? Right, because some artworks are right in your face. You can get it in the moment. There was this one work in Pepper House, which was about the migration of people, I think, like people from Palestine and other places, and how music kind of evolved and kind of went its different ways because of the migration going on. it was very in your face. You could see it. Um, but that's a great piece of work. But at the same time, there was a work right beside that hall, okay, where it was just a typewriter typing out things by itself, okay, without a piece of paper. It was just typing things, and you will first see it and like, what is this? What's going on? Is it like normal people will see it and be like, this is just a stupid piece of typewriter, just typing things. But then you have to read the note behind it, and the note says it's basically the names of people who died in Palestine. No one knows their names. There's no paper,
Right,
right? They're just typing out the names,
Yeah.
but there's no paper recording those names. There's no record of all of the people that have died. So some works need a narrative behind it, a note behind it. Some don't.
Right.
Doesn't really discount the fact of it being an artwork. Again, it's the thought, okay, but at the same time, visually, if you can interpret it faster, I mean, both are good at the same time, but again, there are some works which you will see and be like, what is this? Even the write-up does not match up with the visual,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Right. What is your thought on something as abstract? So both of these felt like there is a pertinent message to this tour.
yeah.
How would you feel about something that is, like you said, very abstract? Uh, what is its place in your understanding, such an art? Or something, let's say, something that just doesn't seem to have an explanation or a definition, but you could look at it and derive even the very scene of war, for example, or the loss of lives, for example, but that is subjective.
Yeah.
In which case, would you still feel like, oh hey, that has its own place, or is it questionable?
Sorry, can you just
Like, think about something super abstract
okay.
that has no evident meaning, no obvious meaning. But yes, it makes you feel something. And then out of that feeling, you have to derive a meaning.
Yeah.
What is the place of such an art in the landscape?
See, again, that is a very subjective kind of artwork. That is not. So, again, the whole movement of abstract art and how it came about deriving meaning after the work is done. It's mainly about the process. I have realized one thing while working as well. There's a lot of work that so in ceramics, the thing is you have to have a lot of failures. Okay, things break in the kiln, things break in the making process of it, and you can't really do anything about it. There's no record of it. You can't really show it. But does it discount the fact that it was done? Does it discount the fact that it tried to exist?
Would you see art in something that broke during the process?
Yeah, definitely. I love. So I have this one work of mine which talks about this whole thing about like, does broken works kind of speak to you, or does it not deserve to be artworks?
Right.
Does unfinished works not deserve to be an art in itself?
When would you deny that it is art though? Like, is there a point of it that you found something in completion, you
Again-
found something in brokenness, but where do you draw a line and say, oh hey, no, I don't have to derive a meaning from it?
Again, art is very subjective like that. What you find as art, probably I don't,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, like it's a very subjective thing to kind of say that this is art and this is not art. This is craft, this is not art, whatever. And I think the whole discussion about craft and art, that is another complete discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, to kind of put a label that this is art and this is not, it's very difficult. The lines are very thin.
Yeah. If you can put it that way, what was the first thing you actually subtracted out of your art? Was it the need to create an impact? Was it the need to follow a pattern? What was the first thing that you decided you don't want anymore in your art? For better or for worse, but then your experience.
I think that's a good question. I think the thing that I kind of got rid of is over intellectualization of things. Like, the thing is, like, you can keep on thinking of seeing one piece of work and have different thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Over the years, like I've had the same, like, so whenever I'm in my studio and I stay, like sometimes I'm just there sitting chilling and I see my own works and I'm like, this could have been seen in this way. Now that it's in this one setting, okay, the setting also matters a lot. How, like, a person sees it, how a person's surroundings are, that matter a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so like the surroundings of entirety of the artwork matter a lot. Like, for example, the Biennale is happening here in this white box that we call usually.
Yeah.
So it kind of elevates any piece of work when you put it in this white box, right? You put a stone inside this white box and it becomes art. You put a banana and a tape and then it's art, right? So I feel like the surroundings matter a lot when you get into the entirety of the story behind it and making a meaning out of it. Does the artwork outside in the garden not evoke any feelings because it's in the garden, or because the artwork is not good? What is high art and what is low art? Is it because it's inside a gallery, or is it because a street shop seller is selling it in the streets? So yeah, like surroundings also matter. And about the subtraction part, right? I think that's what we do as well. We add a lot of meaning behind things, and we subtract a lot of meaning behind things depending on where it is. So yeah.
Would you subtract that? Would you subtract a need for a surrounding that will give your art life? Because, you know, just getting something in here in Biennale is by itself, we might have created something that we feel so empowered by, something that came out of our heart and we know the value to it. But let's just say it becomes paper and it becomes intellectualization when we present it to somebody in the Biennale. Not always, but sometimes. And they'd say, hey, I can't find this place here. Would it still exist to you? Would your art still exist to you in its most elevated form if you subtract the surrounding?
Again, I think for me personally, the surroundings matter. They do. Even if I try to tell myself that they don't, I think for everyone it matters. You know, you would not want to buy a piece of work on the street that is beside a garbage can, right? Like, even if you want to give it that level of attention, that level of hierarchy, which it intrinsically has, as humans, we ourselves don't, we already have a visual in our head when we see it, and we already judge.
Right.
So I think it's a human nature, it's a human fact to have the surrounding kind of also give a meaning behind, give a hierarchy to things, you know. Not a meaning, I mean, give it some sort of place
In the world.
in the world, yeah.
And you mentioned the word buy, right? How much buy? Somebody acknowledging, let's say, somebody connecting with your art. How much, how willing are you to, or would you be willing to subtract that at times? Would you measure your creation against acceptance and acknowledgement always, or are you willing to not want it, maybe?
Uh, Sorry, could you frame the question a little bit better? I mean,
Yeah.
let me kind of.
How important is the quote-unquote approval or validation?
Okay, so basically, how
Can you
a
separate
work
that?
has intrinsic meaning to it, or
No, not me. Let's say external
Intrinsic.
validation
Okay,
and external approval or acceptance.
okay.
Would you ever subtract that, a need for that? Or you never needed that? What is your take?
So, I don't think I ever needed it, but at the same time, you know, there are some pieces of work which I'm too proud of to kind of deny the fact that I don't need like external validation for it,
Yeah.
because I feel like it should exist outside my own head, and it should also, like, when I make a piece of work, okay, I am extremely satisfied by the fact that I finished it, okay, because me personally, I have tons of unfinished works, which are still in the studio, just rotting away, which I'm yet to glaze, yet to fire, and uh, to kind of finish all of those things, it takes some time. So uh, when I do finish it, I do need a sort of validation. Uh, Even if it's from one person, one important person in my life, and that would be enough. But yeah, I feel like external validation, again, even if we say to ourselves that we don't need it, is quite important.
Even
Yeah.
if it's just one person.
Yeah, even if it's just one person, you know. So, so I had this series called the Water series. Okay, so it's something that I really like doing. It's so this tattoo over here, this one, this is a part of it. It's basically about talking about how you touch the surface of water and just dip your hands out. It's basically about the depth of things. Do you just dip your hands into it and like get to the depth of things, or do you just touch the surface and take knowledge out of the surface as well? I feel like both of them are quite brave on their own, even if you just touch the water and take your hands out of it, you know. Uh, Going into the depths of one subject takes a lot of effort. So, this whole series, the water series, it was just me creating vessels, like, which are frozen in time, basically, which is it's. I was kind of exploring fluid dynamics at the time. Okay, how water works, how the physics of water, moving water works, and everything, and I was trying to replicate that entire style and create vessels out of it, which are like sort of frozen in time. You know, there it's movement, but you can see the movement in that frozen sculpture. So that is one of my favorite pieces of work. Maybe you can show it.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the- yeah.
That's what something
Yeah, I can
wanted
send
to
you the
ask.
image.
Yeah, we did. So when you say fluid dynamics, did you mean you studied it in the sense of physics side of things, or like 3D or design side of things?
The mostly the 3D of it,
Oh,
like how.
So you are a 3D artist as well, I see. Do you?
So yeah, I do sculptures mainly. So my whole
No, I
work.
mean, do you do digital art as well?
I just started. I am
Okay.
very new to it,
Right.
but yeah, still very.
Do you have a vocation other than an artist? Do you have like
No, I started off. I did a bachelor's degree in Bangalore and then in sculpting,
Good.
and then I started my own studio.
I was intrigued because I wondered if you started to do digital 3D designs, which has a separate concept of fluid dynamics.
Yeah,
or liquid
yeah,
dynamics.
yeah.
So I wondered if there is a parallel.
I tried replicating all of that in Blender,
Yeah.
and like it's quite a difficult thing, you know. But like once you get a hang of it, but also at the same time, I always have loved
Hmm.
physical touch
Right.
rather than digital.
Understood.
Although like digital things have so many possibilities, so, like right now with 3D printing coming out and everything, it's incredible the amount of things that are coming out. And as an artist, I feel like it's kind of weird that how people nowadays are uh, diminishing all of that, saying digital art can't be at the strata of physical artworks.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's a tool. Okay,
Right.
it's just like any other tool that has existed beforehand. And to say that, like again, like it has happened over the millennia. Okay, like since the very beginning, once the hammer came out, people were like, it's easy because you're using a hammer. Nowadays, people are like, it's easy because you're using AI. Okay, but at the same time, I feel like AI still has a kind of power which we are left unexplored. Obviously, you can do the most simplistic things and be like, this is not art, which it isn't.
Yeah.
It is just an inkling of it. Okay,
Right.
it is just like one pencil stroke of what can happen. I feel like now what can happen with art or this entire world, like with the possibilities of technology, is insane. But we are still stuck at being a mediocre bunch of people, okay? Because every time it's the same. Like when the camera came out, people did not agree that that's a form of art, right? Because it takes away the moment of, like, portrait artists in the very beginning, in the classic era, they existed just to make portraits. All they had was skill. There was no over intellectualization of work, right? Again, and that's why the rich community, the aristocrats, kept them in retainerships to kind of just, all they did was, you make our portraits and we'll pay you, we'll feed you, we'll keep you as our house pet, right? And once the camera came into existence, that entire job market was dead, right? So the same thing is happening with AI at this point. So jobs are going to get cancelled, like new jobs are going to get created, right? It's not that, like, the human progress, even though right now we have advanced so far, jobs which have existed a millennia ago still exist. That's because we haven't, we are very unbalanced in that way. We have created so many jobs, but we have not deleted a lot of the jobs from the past, which should have been deleted by this time, by the technology that we have. Okay, uh, for example, waste disposal, the most important jobs of humanity, is
Right.
still at the same uh, kind of level that it used to be maybe 200 years ago, 50, 200 years ago. Yeah, so I feel like uh, that is a very unbalanced thing. So, again, that's how subtraction has probably worked in the world. They have subtracted jobs, but they have like not subtracted the right jobs.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Which was what I was going to ask you. So, you said about the possibilities, right?
Hmm.
Um, and digital or the technological advancement means possibilities are increased. And compared to that, would you say in the physical, creationist, artistic point of view, it's not about adding possibilities, but it's about limiting possibilities? If you want like a different way to understand that, I'm asking, um, how do you perceive something created within limitations versus something created within possibilities?
I feel like limits are very necessary. Uh, Limits give you a freedom of choice. Actually, like the word, like the freedom of choice, the word freedom of choice is kind of weird how it works, you know. Because if you have all the freedom of choice,
Yeah.
you are in a state of constant like uh, questioning of whether I should do this, whether I should do that, whether I should do this other thing, and you're trapped in that complex trap where it's even though it's a free choice, your free will is not existing over there. So limits kind of make more sense because once you have uh, limitations, you can kind of choose between the maybe the 4 or 5 best things that you have in the list, right? And that's more easier to choose from rather than choosing from 100 possibilities. So freedom of choice is kind of an illusion.
Yeah. What is your upcoming, or like what are you working on right now?
So right now I have been in a kind of state of flux about how to go about things. Maybe I am working on this one project where it's basically more geometric
Oh, yeah.
rather than the kind of work that I usually do. So I kind of changed tracks completely from the water flow kind of works that I did into a more geometric uh, works that I started to make very recently. And I'm trying to explore the possibilities of that, of how to kind of um, break what ceramics is, because usually ceramics is such a free flowing thing. It's such a organic matter that we have, like most of the art community has explored. It's a very flowy, very organic way of working with the material, right? But we have never kind of uh, worked with limitations of line and geometry and what do you say, sort of give it that stark sharpness to things. So we're kind of like I'm trying to kind of explore how far I can take my pieces to be absolutely perfect in that fashion. Uh, Recently, I've been doing crystalline glazes, practicing and experimenting, making crystalline glazes. So I try to make all my own glazes, and this crystalline glazes again, it has existed for millennia, but uh, I'm exploring it now and kind of getting used to how it works because there's so much to do with it. Like everything matters in that and like firing cycle. The recipe matters of how you make the crystalline glazes, what elements you put in it. The firing cycle matters a lot more. How the firing is happening. It goes to a stage and it stops, and then it goes down, and then it stops again, and then it goes up and down, and so it's like a roller coaster, you know. So once you kind of figure it out, you kind of understand how to grow those crystals, to kind of because whatever happens in the kiln is very unpredictable. So kind of to try and make a sense out of a firing cycle is
Yeah.
super difficult to get the results that you really want. So I'm trying to kind of experiment that into perfection.
Yeah. I and that's the last two things I want to pick on. So tell me about perfectionism. What do you mean by perfectionism? Or what is perfection to you?
So perfectionism, I feel like, so from the very beginning I have been a perfectionist, but at the same time I feel like I have also learned that perfectionism is the worst thing to be as a ceramicist.
Yeah.
You know, like I used to be a hyper realistic painter and sketch artist, but then I broke away from it. I started making more like very comic-y, very illustrative type of works, and then I slowly broke free from the illusion of perfection, because perfection takes a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and you can obviously never be perfect.
Is it your, do you establish what perfect is, or do you look at work that inspire you or people that inspire you to decide what?
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Who defines perfection for you, or what defines perfection for you? Is it you deciding your vision of what you want, or is it something like there are things that inspire you or people that inspire you?
So, for me, again, inspiration does not come from people. It has never come from people. Uh, People have only ever motivated me in ways. So, it they haven't inspired me in ways, but I feel like mostly for me, perfectionism would be how far I can make it, you know, if I am giving my 100% or not. And what's the point of doing anything without giving it 100%, you know?
That's perfection. Okay.
Although, at the same time, the problem with ceramics is it's a time limited thing, right? When I first moved from like working with like just pencil from 2D to 3D, it was a big jump, okay, big learning curve. And me being the perfectionist that I was as a 2D artist, I had to completely let go of that perfectionism in my works when I started off. Okay, my early works are so different from what I do right now. I feel like most of my styles has, like over the years, my style has kept on changing every time, and I feel like I let go of that need for perfectionism, because with clay you have to kind of time everything right. When you have to like work with the clay when it's at the perfect stage of consistency, softness, and like when it's hard, when it gets leather hard, you have to start carving at that point. When if it gets a little bit harder, that's it, you can't do anything with it. So you have to kind of let go of perfectionism at that point. You have to finish things fast.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like oil painting that you keep on doing for ages. So I had to let go of my perfectionism in that way, and I just tried my best to kind of be as fast as possible as I could, and that kind of took a lot out of me because nowadays whenever I'm working, like my works are like I take 3 days to make one piece, but those 3 days are like full 3 days, like 24 hours. Okay, like obviously I have to eat and sleep, but other than that, 18 hours of the day it's just working, and finishing one piece and then taking a long break and then again going to the next piece. So that way, I think perfectionism is about giving it your all
That is perfect.
rather than making it visually perfect at this point.